Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Legendary Faith Podcast. This is episode number 68. Don't go back to the darkness, choosing the light no matter what the cost. And I get it. Temptations in this world today are just relentless, and for a very good reason. We have an enemy that is constantly trying to attack your family, your minds, and your true purpose. But no matter what, it's never worth it to go back to the darkness. Because if you choose to give in just a little bit, this may open the door for evil to walk all over you, to walk all over your family, and simply take you off track. This life is short, friends, and we must choose to be strong. We must continue on with that narrow path that will ultimately lead to everlasting life. But what do? We so often fall off track. We fall off track. We start listening to the wrong voices, which is why it's so crucial that you make that effort now to stay in contact with encouragers in faith. And yes, it may seem fun to take a drink, go with the friends to the bar, do that thing that seems so much fun that everyone else is doing. But you must ask yourself, am I willing to lose everything for this 1 second, 5 seconds of fame, or what I perceive to be fun, but is actually driving you into the ground? No, you have to take the blinders off. But you can't resist temptation. You can't take these blinders off if you keep giving in to sin. If you keep creeping that door open just a little bit for the enemy to get in. And the sad thing is, many people are not even aware of what's going on. They have to go most of their life, perhaps, living blinded by the truth. And often it takes something drastic or horribly wrong to go wrong with them or their family before they even start to see the light. And then others are affected by their decisions, which is why it's so important that you start now. This is your message of faith, to start now to improve your life, to choose that narrow path, to make a difference in your family that may last for generations. Don't wait until you're 80 years old, or if you even make it that far. We can choose now to live that legendary life of faith. We can choose now to take the blinders off, to see the light, to see what God has created for you. This is not just spiritual talk. This is talk from experience. This is talk from a sinner, from someone who is not perfect, who has felt bad about herself, and has often been blinded. No matter what you've been through, no matter how bad you've been broken, look back on your life. Look back at those dark places and wonder, do I really want to go there? Is it worth it? And choosing to live in the light is not always easy. And we have to love sometimes when it seems hard, when it's easier to give up. But that fun, enticing thing, that short moment of fleshly temptation, is it really worth losing everything or achieving that little moment of satisfaction or fame or money or popularity? Is it really worth not listening to the wisdom of Jesus? And maybe you don't know Jesus. Maybe you don't really know him. Maybe you're just going through the motions. You're arriving in church. You're sitting there, but you're going home and you're treating your family badly. And yes, we all get moody. We all make mistakes. We fall off daily, but don't make it a practice of sin. Don't claim to be of God, to know God, or to be a Christian and live a life of sin, unrepentant. Yes, we are all sinners. None of us are perfect. We can all be fake it sometimes. And it's so much harder for perhaps people that may speak the truth, such as myself, to put myself or yourself out there because you better watch how you live. And personally, how I have lived has not always been perfect. But I go on to live another day, to repent, and to be honest about my mistakes. And to tell you, hey, we're not perfect, but we can choose to not give up. We can choose to not go back down that dark road. And if you do, friends, if you do go back down that dark road, if you do make that mistake again, if you do fall off the wagon, it's not too late. It's not the end of the world. That's what the enemy would want you to believe, so that you get beat down more, so that your testimony stays hidden. I have made mistakes over and over again. Sometimes it took me a decade to get, and that's okay, because there were many life lessons in the journey. There were many lessons for others as well, because we are in this together, and it's about the light that breaks through the darkness. The fact that we can find joy in the struggle, that we don't have to stay stuck in the pit, because the pit is that deep, dark place the devil would have you be, but it's not your destiny. And if you don't truly know God today, if you're saying you know him, but your heart is far from him, when you take that last breath, and you don't know when that will be, when you take that last breath, do you really know where you're going to end up? Because this isn't just about us, it's about those around us. It's about influencing our friends and our family and making sure that they will choose the light, that they don't stay in that deep, dark place. It's about who we reach along the way. And we see so many people struggling. Social media is a highlight reel, and it may look fun what others are doing, but really what goes on behind closed doors. It may look fun as they're partying, going on constant vacations, spending all the money, but what is really going on in their life? What kind of difference are they making? Are they reaching out to their family? Are they portraying a life of perfection? Or are they able to be honest about where they're at, to talk about things? Because let's be honest, life is challenging. But when you choose a life of faith and you choose to walk in the light, even when it's difficult, even when it's so hard and you feel like you can hardly breathe, or the pain is so much, just to do the right thing. But in the end, that's what will lead to everlasting life. Sometimes the narrow path is hard. Sometimes choosing to love when it would be easier to hate or be unforgiving. Sometimes these things that are so hard are the things that we need to press past, and that we need to have faith that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. that just a moment of quick satisfaction in the flesh that we think will carry us on to the next day and give us joy, but then later we regret and we look back and we're ashamed. So, yes, we all sometimes choose darkness. We do. There's a lot of temptations in this world. We all make mistakes. But let's choose today to walk in the light. Let's choose to do that thing that is so difficult or the life lessons that you neglect. Let's choose to process them in a healthy way and to make a difference. But you must take a step. You must choose to live a legendary life of faith. Ephesians 5:8 says, "For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Live as children of light." Verse 10 says, "And find out what pleases the Lord. Have nothing to do with fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them." Light always drives out darkness, but we must choose the light. We must stop running in the dark. Choose today to live in the light, no matter how difficult it may seem, because you will live with less regrets and be more fulfilled and less tempted to go back to the darkness. Friends, I hope you have a great day today. Thanks for listening. Be blessed.